Welcome back, Benchwarmers. It's been a minute since we've checked in.
A couple of weeks have gone by and we've got some catching up to do, especially for my fantasy team.
Thanksgiving was just busy for all of us, so we decided to postpone the episode.
You know what, guys? It might have been a lucky break because we are on a winning streak.
That's the way to try to close out a season. I'm Corey, loving this playoff push.
I'm Brendan, sick.
I'm Nando. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and this is our view from the bench.
Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see or hear, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it for us, come on, it's free. It's free for you, it's free for us, helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah. And before we get started, I just want to mention this episode is brought to you by 3C's Cookies. If you want to follow us on Instagram, 3CS_cookies, you can get the information there and see if you want any cookies for Christmas. So just not get
They're
that plug.
great. They are great. Side note on that, I personally am I wouldn't say connoisseur. I don't like travel the world or anything, but I love chocolate and all forms of chocolate. And there's one type of chocolate I don't like, and that's white chocolate. But you know what I'll eat? 7 bags of these. So better than you think. Even if you don't like white chocolate, they're really good. So, all right, guys. Well, good to see you guys again.
Oh, it's nice to be back, man. It's been a while. Unfortunately, the holidays, my work schedule was insane the last couple of weeks, so it's nice to be back here and talk to you guys. And Nando, you said a winning streak? Is that what we just heard?
I did say a winning streak. You know, we tried to hope that it happened earlier in the season. We were hoping only had the 2 wins in a row. We're like, okay, winning streak possibly. No, didn't happen. We got close again. Didn't happen. But this week, another winning streak. We're 3 wins in a row right now.
I love it. Okay. Before we get too far in talking all, let's start with Week 12's matchup that we didn't get to catch up on last time. We're going to go ahead and throw it up on the screen here. Brendan, Nando, thoughts on that week's win?
Any win's a good win if you ask me, obviously. You know what I mean? But this week 7 win was even better than all the other wins. So, no, I'm just kidding. It was necessary. It was something that we needed to, because the playoffs are pushing, so we just needed to keep pushing closer towards it. This one was more of an easier matchup, I guess you could say, as one of the guys of the league who has not had as successful of a season. But any given Sunday, any given Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, any given one of those days, anything can happen, right?
Absolutely.
Nando? Yeah, I mean, for me though, I was just happy to see any wins coming into this end of the week because hey, we switched a lot of players. That's true. It could have just ruined us completely. So now seeing that we have all these new players and we're still winning, we're still popping off 3 weeks in a row is phenomenal for me.
That's a great point. Honestly, it's one of the things that I was concerned about with the trade. Again, we'll kind of talk about it towards the end of the season where we were thinking with that, but like Nando said, it's kind of panned out for us at least. Maybe not so much for who we traded with. Now we're looking like we're even, but yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. And Bo Nix has been the biggest, which we're going to throw up our Week 13 final here as well on the screen for you guys. Bo Nix has been pretty solid for us. We had Burrow, but like you said, we did that whole switch-up trade where we got Stroud, and we kind of went just for a whole new vibe, and so far it's working.
Yeah. 111 points here for Week 13. Great dub, almost 112 basically. And Nando, I don't. Nobody's fault. We didn't expect it, right? But what did we freaking have on this bench, bro?
On that bench, we had Jerry Jeudy, who, if I'm correct, scored 36 points.
Yeah, had a career night.
I didn't believe it was going to happen. We just picked him up. We said, hey, he's been consistent. We want to see where he plays to this week. And, well, he played right into the bench, scoring us. Our bench actually would have beat the guy we faced this week.
Oh,
that's how many points we had scored on the bench, especially with just Jerry Jeudy. He's done better than I think any of our players besides Juwan Jennings when we didn't have him, and that's just a phenomenal number to hit from anyone in fantasy.
Dude, I actually forgot that you decided last minute, or maybe I just totally spaced because last week, again, my work schedule was insane when we talked, but I was like, Gus Edwards, why did we not play Chubb? But then I realized we only didn't want to play 2 guys on Monday night. But as he's doing all this work on Monday, I'm like, man, thankfully it didn't affect us, but we really could have been like a big scoring point.
Yes, exactly. We had both Jerry and Chubb slotted into the roster at that time, and it's just a bunch of overthinking. We didn't think it was going to happen. It just happened.
Denver's supposed to have a good defense, and they didn't show it. Although Jerry Jeudy was there, and his goal was to absolutely destroy them. did so with like 11 catches, 240 yards, and a touchdown. Career day for him. It's actually the most yards any receiver has had against his prior team in the history of NFL football. So it's pretty great. And Jameis Winston, of course, the gunslinger. You could say what you want about Jameis Winston. He's fantastic for all of your fantasy connecting players.
Yeah.
He does throw picks, obviously, but he was fantastic for that. So it was a good week. But honestly, you know what killed us, Nando? Why we chose Gus? Do you remember why we chose Gus?
Yeah.
We were so lost on who to choose. We went to the Spin a Wheel website and put a bunch of players' names, and Gus Edwards popped up the most. That's how we landed on Gus Edwards.
Wow.
We also like we're resetting back and forth. We're like, okay, wait. We have to make sure this happens though. Like we met certain requirements and like, okay, now this is the one. No more changing, no more. And then we spun it. Gus.
Gus was the answer. Again,
overthinking a little bit, guys.
Yeah, didn't impact the win-loss. Luckily, definitely impacted some of the score. So, but again, 2 wins since we've been out, 3 wins in a row. It's looking good for us so far.
Winning streak. I like those 2 words. I'm excited. I honestly, I was so busy. I kind of wasn't able to. I was just catching up on all the texts and the group texts you guys were going back and forth on stuff. And like, I tried to chime in when I had an opportunity here and there, but I was like, dang, they're doing a lot of work. But I hope, and hey, you guys got some wins, so I'm good. I'm excited.
Yep, 100%. Okay, so now that we've gotten through those couple weeks, let's show kind of what we've done on the fantasy waiver wire for that week and then for this week as well. The biggest one that we had to pick up was adding Tua because we needed a quarterback for this bye week with C.J. Stroud and Bo Nix on a bye in week 14. The other one was that fantastic Gus Edwards pickup for Kareem Hunt. Again, Gus Edwards in that offense should be running. J.K. Dobbins was running. I guess J.K. Dobbins is just that talented, and Gus Edwards is just not. So, but more here. You'll see them on the screen now. Do any ones you want to point out specifically, or Corey?
Quick one. Josh Downs for Jerry Jeudy. He got out in this game, so of course we needed someone else to trade for him, just because injury doesn't. We always need the wide receiver help, and even now, even some running back help. Besides that, Isaac Guerrero from the San Fran, because both Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason, yes, are both out, and the only other running back they have is him and someone they just picked up from the Jets. So
yeah, Jets waived him on Monday. They picked him up on Tuesday.
Wow. We also did recently just trade out Green Bay defense for Buffalo, and we'll go more into that in just a second. And of course, C.J. Stroud, we just tossed him out because looking at the projections, Bo Nix and Tua are probably our best 2 QBs that we're gonna have to matchup wise and point wise. CJ is a good QB overall
in like real life, yeah.
Real life, but when it comes to fantasy, he hasn't beat the 20-point threshold compared to Bo Nix or even Tua in these last few weeks. So that's most of the people that have made the big difference in our most recent waiver wire pickups.
Yeah, I think the 2 most important ones that he mentioned are the Buffalo defense for Green Bay.
That's what I was going to say. Can you talk about that one?
Yeah, Green Bay defense has been awful the last couple of weeks. And Buffalo, they're not known for defense, obviously, with Josh Allen, but the offense scores so many points that the defense is able to be more aggressive and then create more turnovers and sacks and stuff like that, which helps us, obviously, with fantasy points. The other one was, I think, the Stroud drop, which we don't need 3 quarterbacks, obviously, but I think the Thielen pickup is kind of a sneaky one that maybe not somebody we might play every week, but it's somebody that we kept away from an opponent that him and Bryce Young seem to have kind of figured things out down there in Carolina.
That's a great addition. The only other thing, too, besides the fact that Green Bay hasn't been doing well, they played Detroit in Detroit this week, tomorrow, actually, Thursday Night Football. That should be a good game regardless. If it turns out to be a good game for the Packers defense, fantasy-wise, I'm going to be disappointed and kind of confused because I think they played each other already this year in Green Bay that had like 2 points. So, I mean, the offense for the Lions is insane, right? I mean, and especially at home, like, come on.
Yeah, in a dome, they both had a week off because they played on Thursday Thanksgiving, so there's no advantage of who had the short week. This is a division matchup, which they're both really good teams, so it should be. I'm with you, man. I'm kind of glad I don't have to work tomorrow night. I can actually watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game for sure. Let's check out though. This is the craziest part, right? So now that you've seen, we've got the 2-3 wins in a row. We've covered 2 here, but we have 3 in a row. And who we picked up on waiver over the past couple of weeks. This is kind of what it's coming down to. We have 2 regular season weeks left, week 14 and week 15. Because this is only a 4 playoff a 14 playoff. It's 16 and 17 of the NFL season that are the playoffs for us. So we still need to get it in. Let's throw the standings up on here. Nando, bro,
Cutting it close.
we are locked in. This is actually a pretty good league, besides obviously towards the bottom. Guy actually got his first win last week. Fantastic. So congrats to you, nameless team. Um, great job. So, but how we looking, man?
Well, we placed 4th in the entire league right now. So out of 10 players, we're 4th with 1,400 points. We're beating the 5th person in the league by 4 points.
I'll take it.
4.72 to be specific.
Thank you.
And right now, we're the only person with a big win streak. So hopefully it continues. Point wise, matchup wise, we have a 50-50 honestly right now possibility of making it to the playoffs, in my opinion.
The best thing though that you're not mentioning, Nando, is not only are we in 4th, we are technically tied with 4 other teams for first place. We're just in 4th because of the points. Yeah. So we have an 8-5 record, as does the other 14. So half the league is 8-5 going into this. Like we have a shot to not only get in the playoffs, but if things break our way and depending on certain matchups this week going against each other, we could be like in 2nd or 3rd next week.
Definitely. And looking at this more, the standing chart, because I don't look at it as much, seeing that we have the highest moves in the entire league as well as the highest waiver pickups, or I don't know how that works.
That's just priority right there. But the moves is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. We make a lot. We had to make a lot of changes, man. We talked about it. We completely rehauled this roster 3 weeks ago with the big trade and kind of started over in a sense. And here we are. So yeah, 43 moves is not really shocking me because we do at least 2 or 3 a week. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? You gotta manipulate it. You gotta manipulate it. You never know. That's what this is all about. See, that's the cool thing about this one. There are leagues out there. This is why I don't mind. This is actually the one part of the league that's normal. There's leagues out there where if you want to pick somebody up, you have to bid on it. You have to actually have money. So the more movement you have, that more actual money goes into the pot at the end of the year for the winner, or however it's dispersed amongst the standings. So luckily that's not where we're at here. So we can just move all we want.
Let's do it. Love it.
So that's where we're at. All right, man.
All right. Now, we know we're on a winning streak. We mentioned it. So can we continue it into week 14? We're going to throw the matchup here on the board for you.
It's going to be tough.
How are we feeling, Nando? What do you think, sir?
Week 14, or as Brendan might call it, week 2, is definitely one of our hardest weeks. This guy puts up a lot of points every week, typically around 120, 130. I think last week was just a bad week for him, and it's kind of screwing me over right now.
Yeah, honestly, he has a pretty stacked team.
His team is stacked, both on the bench and who's playing.
I think this is probably his final.
I think he does have a lot of bye weeks, so it might help us a bit.
He did end up picking up the New Orleans defense that we were considering instead of the Green Bay, but we were trying to think long term. We also picked New Orleans up earlier this year, and they got us like 4 fucking points, so we were kind of just sour, I guess, on that note.
Big time.
But other than that, bro, he's good, dude. His team is stacked.
So we just gotta hope that, like, the Bengals and the Falcons just have really bad days, and they just throw a bunch of picks and not to their wide receivers, and
we need Achane.
Well,
Chase Brown and Breece Hall to relax. Those are probably the big guns.
So we tell Tua, just throw the ball. Don't give it to Achane at all.
Yeah, true. Yeah, 100%.
He's not there.
Damn, I didn't even think about that part. He does throw to Achane a lot too, so it's gonna be a tough one for sure. But you know what? We've been in the situation before. Maybe this will be our lucky break. This guy's been kind of unlucky all year. He, like Nando said, he puts up points like crazy, but depending on who you're playing that week, if that guy happens to put up more, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. So that could be us this week, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Like I said, this winning streak of 3, the best winning streak in the league right now at the moment. So if we can just get 2 more and get ourselves into the playoffs, and then anything can happen at that point.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of feeling good, man. As much as, again, we'll break into a little bit more. There's a lot of detail that we'd like to talk about. We're not going to talk about it yet. Let's wait till the end of the season. But we went from one mindset to a different mindset, back to the original mindset, because it's kind of been panning out. So it's worked out for us, and I'm liking it. Nando, you get to see like what all these moves are like, how to make trades. You've learned so much about this crap, dude. Honestly, I just want to give you a little bit of props, man. The way you kind of nailed all those players, why we did it, all that kind of stuff, dude. You're doing great. So good job, man.
Thank you. I have 2 fantastic coaches, and that's where it makes a great play.
Thanks, man.
It's been 2 weeks where I haven't seen you guys' pretty faces.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's been a long 2 weeks for me at work, and it is just nice to be back on here with you guys and talking football. This has been great because, man, the last 2 weeks have been nuts.
Yeah, hockey, huh? Oh, and concerts.
Dude, we had, I think, 11 events in 14 days stretch. Like, it was just nonstop. Concert, game, concert, game, holiday, 5:30 a.m. on Black Friday. I was like, I'm over this.
Damn.
It was a long 2 weeks, but
well, welcome back to reality, my friend.
Yeah, December is going to be much more normal, so we can keep you guys updated on our playoff standings if we get in there, and then depending on what happens from there, we'll see how long Nando wants to hang out after football.
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe we can get him to talk about like actual playoff football.
Hey, there we go.
Since he's learning like football in general, we can have him come in here for the actual NFL playoffs. That'd be fun.
Okay, and if the Steelers are in it, which it looks like they are, maybe Loft comes in and we do a little just football banter before we get started.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Chris Boswell.
I know, right? Yeah, that's your boy, bro. That's your boy. Well, let us know down in the comments below. How was your Thanksgiving? We missed it. Let us know. Was it good? Mine was nice. Also, is your fantasy team still in the hunt for a playoff position like we are?
Do you see us continuing our winning streak this week? Hopefully we do. Or are we going down and then we really got to fight for our playoff push? Let us know in the comments below, or you can get us up on Instagram and Twitter at RviewFTB.
Thank you as always for stopping by. Appreciate everybody for seeing things from our view from the bench. I'm Brendan.
I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
Love and positivity. Sorry.
Bless you.
I got sick.
Oh, sorry.
This was a Sycamore 4th Studios production.